everybody, welcome back to this week's episode. As you can see on the table, I went to the Philly Pen Show this past weekend. It was my first ever actual pen show that I've attended. It was really fun. I know the weather was pretty horrible. Driving there in the morning, because usually it's about a 2-hour drive to Philly from where I'm at. So getting there was like pretty simple. Got there around 9 a.m. And driving back is when the issue started because it started snowing, and what usually is about a 2-hour trip took about almost 3.5 hours. But thankfully we all got home and I came back with some really good goodies. But first I'm going to just show some clips from the actual pen show, some of the tables I saw, some of the pens I saw, and yeah, and then we'll come back. honestly, one of the biggest reasons I had gone to the pen show, besides wanting to experience one for the first time, was I actually had a stumble with my Le Bon, which I had Gina grind at Stationery Fest. What happened was maybe like a month or so after she had done it, it rolled off my table because this doesn't post, so it was on my table and it fell nib first. And honestly, the curve is a lot less noticeable now after I tried to bend it back. But let me see if we can focus. Like, you could see the nib actually curves a little that way. And if I write normally with it, it's very broad, almost like a fude nib. It's like a mini fude now. Let me see if it focuses. Yeah, there we go. It's like a little mini fude. It was a lot more dramatic of a curvature when it fell. But yeah, so right now it writes pretty thick. You can see the curve there. It writes really thick normally, so I actually have to write with it reversed if I still want to get any semblance of the journaler nib that she actually ground on here for me. And that's actually what she had done on here, was a journaler nib. So what I did is, Le Bon's nib part doesn't come out, so I had to buy a new feed part, and this is what I put onto that pen. And what I did is I brought that to Gina, and thankfully she was able to grind the right same grind on it. And then this I could just change onto here. If anything more happens to the original nib, I have a backup, which I'm really happy about. So I talked a little bit about what Gina did on this one, and then I'm going to show this again in a little bit because this is one of the new pens that I got, and I already have so much ink on me, got at the pen show. But just know that she did another journaler on this. So she did 2 journaler nibs for me at our appointment, and then I was hoping she could do these, but I knew that trying to fit 4 into one appointment was going to be tricky, so I reached out to Damien at All in the Nib. I had never done anything with him before, but I had seen his work online, so I knew I could trust him, especially because he does a lot of flex nibs. And what I actually needed done was on this Le Bon Cambridge, the nib says it's a fine, and it's a 21K flex nib, but it wrote really broad, and I just was not getting any variation, especially it being a flex nib. So I asked him to make it into an extra fine, and now this writes amazingly. I'm going to see if I have a sample. So you can kind of see here in the top, this is how the fine nib used to write, and then now this is what it looks like adjusted by Damien. And it's exactly what I was looking for versus the kind of same line length that I was having in a flex.
So I hadn't been to that show beforehand. I had heard about it, but Josh was going on vacation with his family, and they organized. That's why they named it, because it was, you know, if you look like through the side edge of glass, it kind of has that like aqua, clear kind of aqua, and that's kind of what it looks like. But it is so dry. And granted, like, I put it in a platinum.
Then he had a little bit of time, so I asked him if he could actually tune this limited edition pen that I got from an anime, and it is the only, well, at the time was the only other pen that had a Bach nib on it, and I think it's a fine, but regardless, it was really difficult to get any ink out of this. It felt like it was, I don't know if it was just the tines were too tight. And then actually that ended up being what happened, is that the tines were not letting a lot of ink in. And even when he tested it, nothing was coming out. So he made that a wetter writer for me, and now I'm super stoked about this. So these 4 pens were really the main reason I wanted to go to the pen show. Everything else was just an amazing bonus. So let me get into the actual haul. So since we just finished mentioning this pen, this Esterbrook in Sea Glass was the first pen I bought when I got to the pen show after my appointment with Damien. I was really on the fence between this one and the Jurassic one. And when I had them side by side, I like the green one, I really do, but I feel like it was almost like it wasn't vibrant enough of a dark green, if that makes any sense. And I technically have that dark Wancher champagne green, so in my collection, I don't really have anything that's this type of blue. Like, I have more of that turquoisey blue, so I was like, let me add something a little different. And even though this does have some of that in there, this one, even my partner was like, this is more of a me pen. So I was like, you know what, you're right. And I had an appointment with Gina late in the day, so when I bought this pen, I had asked them if they already had the journaler in there. So if they did, I would just get that and maybe get something else ground from Gina, because I did bring a couple extra pens just in case. And they didn't. They only had it in the steel nib, so I was like, you know what? I'll just get the medium and then have Gina grind it for me. So that's what ended up happening there. And yeah, I'm super stoked with it. Now it's, in the collection with my Tortoise and Nouveau Blue. Awesome. So the second pen I got, I went to Happy Hour Pens and Gifts. I had actually seen their stuff up on Mike's channel when he did his live stream of the show on Friday, and saw that he had a lot of good sailors on his table. And I didn't know what I was in the market for, but I knew like it wouldn't hurt to go see what he had for sailors and what prices he had. And I had a couple that I had my eye on, but then I saw this little mini one, and I don't have any Sailor Minis, and I had really kind of been like, hey, I'm in my mini pen era. Like, I have the Opus Mini, the TWSBI, my Traveler's Notebook pen, and I was like, I would love to add a sailor to that collection. So I got this one from him. It was, I believe, $130. Yeah, it was $130. I paid cash, and it's this gorgeous blue. I think it's called Ayer Blue, and it has a 24K nib. And when you post it, it fits really nicely in my hand. So I was really happy with this edition, and I'll definitely, if I see Adam is at another pen show, I definitely want to stop by him again. So the next one up here is the final pen I got, and that was actually very close to the end of the show. I think around like 2 o'clock, because the show ended at 4, but right after my appointment with Gina at 3, we headed out because of the snow. But I was walking around a little bit, and I saw this pen from Mike's Pen Fun, and I absolutely fell in love. It has that black, blue, gray with some white and orange, and as you guys saw, if you watched my pen video about my collection, I am a huge fan of pens that have tiger-esque colors to them, so this one really kind of spoke to me in that. And so I went up to Mike's table and I introduced myself and told him I had seen his video, like his table on Mike's video. Again, I had watched already kind of a walkthrough of the whole show to see kind of an idea of who I wanted to stop by, and Mike was one of the people that I wanted to make sure I did. So spoke to him for a little bit, and then he explained to me like the whole process of how it worked, because I just thought the pen came as is, and then he was like, no. He's like, take a seat, because there's a lot of customization that can be done with the pen. And I was like, oh, like, what does that mean? So I sat down, and he was like, hey, not only do you pick the body of the pen, but you also get to pick the clip, the size, and also the colors. So what I mean by that is he had about 5 to 6 designs for the clip themselves, and then each one of those designs had about 4 different colorations in color, like rose gold, silver, black. And so I was immediately excited to kind of just sit with him, chat, and this is what we came up with, which was this like curved clip, which, funny enough, as I was looking at this pen again, I was like, oh my god, it reminds me of a tail, and if this is a tiger pen, that makes a lot of sense to me. So we did that, and then I went with the gold block nib, which he was telling me they're all tuned and double checked by Kirk Spears from Pen Realm. So that was really fun, and I got to test it out, so it was all perfect. From there, I was talking to Mike's wife, who was at the table with him, and she was telling me, because I was really curious about these postcards that were on the table. So I was like, oh, like, what are these? These are really pretty. And she was telling me that she has a prison pen pal, and he actually drew these things, and she was like, wow, these are amazing, like, do you mind if I make little like cards out of them? And he was excited, and actually all the proceeds from if you buy the set goes to a women's shelter. So this is what was posted with the cards, and I thought, wow, that's such a good, like, you know, I think I had $20 left on me, and I was like, hey, like, I was going to spend it anyway. And I was like, I'd rather it go to a good cause while I'm here. So I did that. So honestly, that wrapped up my final pen of the day. And then doing this was kind of just the cherry on top. So after getting the fountain pens, the next thing I really had my eye on is getting another ink. And technically this one I did get there at the show, but it was more of a pickup because I placed this really funny exclusive Kingdom Note Sailor ink from Helen's Creation. And she had a few of them with her at the show still, but this is the one I wanted my eye on. So she said, like, if you were interested in any color, to message her and she could set them aside if you paid for them. So I did that, and that is this bottle here. And I'm going to show the bottles in the other two, and then I'm going to actually show the swatches of all the colors of the inks I've got. So that's that. And then I got two Colorverse inks from Federalist Pens. I got the Mystic Mountain and Gluon 24, I think is what it's called. And these are part of the Glistening series. And the bottles look like this. And they have a ton of shimmer in them, and they're really pretty shimmers. So those are those two. Put them here. Awesome. And then, so I'm going to pull up here in my notebook. I already did some swatches of them. So that's the Gluon, Mystic Mountain, and then Kingdom Note, Eumicrodamus wenoi. That's the name of the fish. But that was really cool, and I put the price of what I paid for each one. And then on the bottom here, I'm going to show the little bottles, but these are the freebies that I got at Ferris Wheel Press. I ended up getting the green one. There were random mysteries, and they don't even have the name on them, but they're all shimmer. So this was really a shimmer-filled ink purchasing. I'm trying to see if you can see some of the shimmer here. Yeah, you can see a little bit. But yeah, I got green one, and then I signed my partner up, and they got the pink one. And then someone was just kind of giving away a sample of Diamond Ghost, and I thought it was a really pretty color, so I grabbed that too. So those were the colors from the pen show. And then really the last thing I ended up getting was a few stickers. These I got from Stationery University. Stationery Universe. It was these stickers. I didn't realize until I got home that I think I might have said the wrong number, and I didn't even check because we were chatting so much with Tori. So this is supposed to be the Karina ink swatch one, but I got the broad, double the fun. So if I ever find a friend at a show who's a broad pen, or even actually from our meetups, I'm going to see maybe someone who's a big broad nib person and give them this. So that'll be a little gift. But these are the other two that I got, which was a little rainbow nib, and I like mine with the custom grind, which is funny because the reason I'd really come to the pen show was to get some custom grinds. And then the other ones I got were from Tom at Sugar Turtle Studio. And these really fun stickers. Got the one with the nib. It says happy. This is his little business cards, and those are stickers too, which I love. This is one of the ones that were, oh, that was also part of that one. This is one of the ones that I had my eye on that he was advertising on his site, which is the Pendulum, which is a claw machine, which I've really gotten into claw machines recently, especially because not too far from me is an arcade, and I love just winning stuff from there. He gave me this cute one because I had traded him for one of my Cozy Traveler stickers, and then I got these sticker sets. And then kind of in the same line, but I think just because it was stationery, some tables had stamps. River City did, and then Heinz. I wish more people did. I'm big fan of stamp collecting, especially for little bits of ephemera to put into my journal. Because I actually went to the pen show with my stamp, which, hold on, let me show you what that looked like. So in my bag that I brought this little pouch, and in that pouch housed my 2.5 inch stamp, which has that design, and then one of my cat, which this one actually surprisingly does show a lot of detail. Actually show it here. Let's try it again. Yeah, there you go. So I had that one, I had these two with me, and that was really fun to kind of just share with people, because I didn't bring that many stickers. I did give them most away, but I think a lot of people also really found these fascinating. And like I said, a lot of people when they saw this were like, oh my god, we should get one of those. So I was like, yes please, I would love to collect stamps when I come to my next pen show. But yeah, besides that, I can't think of anything else I got. It was, yeah, the 3 pens, the 3 inks, and the stickers, and I think that was pretty much it. Overall, again, the show was fantastic. It did stink because the weather did have some of the vendors either leave on Saturday or head out early on Sunday, which kind of felt bad if people who were attending a little bit later came and a lot of people were already gone. But besides that, there was a still good amount of people there, and the people there were super sweet. I was able to chat with a lot of them for a little bit, and I saw Mike and Audrey from Mike's Independence, and chat with a few other people, meet new people. So I definitely would love to go to another one, though this one for me was probably the perfect size, because even though I've gone to events like Comic-Con and stuff like that, something about this, it was very overwhelming, I feel like, if it was any bigger. So I don't know if I would see myself going to like the Baltimore DC pen show. I liked how kind of this was more close-knit and personal, and there was not too many vendors. So that being said, we'll see what the next one holds, because I will be planning on going to the Tokyo International Pen Show in November of this year. I already have my tickets booked for the flight, but the show tickets are not available yet, so I'm keeping my eye on that so that I could go the first day, which I believe would be Saturday, because they usually hold it the first weekend of November, so from Saturday to Monday. So I'm really excited to kind of go and possibly see some people there that were at this show and I've chatted with that are potentially also going. So that's really exciting. But aside that, I hope everybody else had a great weekend or had fun, just watching this video. I honestly appreciate everyone's support in watching my videos and taking the time to comment. I really appreciate, and I honestly respond to everybody, because I just really love talking about stationery, and I think that excitement kind of translates into when we talk to someone else about like what their favorite ink is, what their favorite pens are, like what journals they're using. So if you ever want to chat with me, just either comment down below, or if you want, my Instagram is linked in my bio and description. So you could always message me on Instagram and I'll probably respond, so we could talk about stationery stuff. But yeah, again, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.